Most people today don't understand that their self-image is really, truly what determines habits. Now, habits are those things that you don't think about, that you just do, if you will. And what happens is if you got wrong habits and if you got habits that take you in error doing things, you're in trouble as far as any type of success, any type of building a business. And this is why that, do your habits serve your new self-image or does your habits serve your old self-image? See, there's a new version of you and there's an old version of you. And I know that I talk about this a lot, but it's important. You must be moving towards the new version of you all the time. And this is why that I do the videos I do, because I want you to understand that. And this is why that your habits are either validating your old self-image or constructing your new self-image. And may I make a suggestion? That new version of you better be that extraordinary place and target that you're rapidly moving towards. So your current habits either reinforce who you think you are and not becoming, or they reinforce, I'm going to change. It's that simple. They either reinforce who you think that you are, and most of the time that's small thinking, somebody that's not really going after it, or it's reinforcing and challenging that and then moving towards the new version of you. What are your habits doing? Which one is it reinforcing and validating? Are your habits validating the old self-image and the old version of you? Are your habits now challenging and validating the new version of you? You break these patterns by choosing to take immediate action again towards that new self-image. It could be uncomfortable things that you have to do. It could be uncomfortable things you have to learn. It could be uncomfortable things that take an immediate action on learning this or doing this or connecting with someone or holding a conversation or learning something. It doesn't matter. You have to get your habits to where they're constructing the new version of you, not the old version of you. What are your habits doing in that respect, honestly? That's why that I have taken habits that I looked at and I've done kind of like a habit audit, whatever you want to call it, AUDIT. And I had to break some habits over the last several years that I had because they were slowing me down and I didn't realize it. But the Lord pointed some things out. My wife pointed some things out, and I've gotten better at not doing what I was doing and getting much, much better at doing what I should have been doing. Because you'll never build an 8, 9, 10-figure business ever with the wrong habits. See, your brain always defaults, and I've said this before, I'm going to say it again. Your brain always defaults to what is considered safe, what is considered familiar, what is considered, I like this, it's familiar, I feel good about it. You shift this by intentionally, all the time, practicing small future behaviors. What does that look like? Small future behaviors. That means that you start quoting things about who you are. You start taking decrees and declaration and decreeing them over your life, declaring them over your life. And when you start declaring things about who you're becoming, and when you start taking actions that match those decrees and declarations and those changes, then the brain catches up. This is why that your habits either are validating and keeping you where you are right now, or they're challenging everything and moving you forward to that new self-image and that new millionaire status. It's all between the ears, folks. This is, you got to get this. It's all between the ears. Because when your brain defaults to that, we got to remain safe, understand something. There is no safe, because all success has some form of a risk. You're changing, you're increasing, you're doing things you've never done before, and that's just how it works. So this is why that your habits must serve your new self-image, new version of you. You must start changing your habits to start constructing the new version of you. Your self-image also sets the ceiling on what habits you believe that you can maintain. Now, you may start a habit moving towards your new self-image, but you don't maintain it because it pulls you back saying, well, who am I? Come on, who am I kidding myself? Why am I doing this? It's not going to work. Yes, it is. Any new habit you start developing, your brain is going to say, wait a minute, hold on, this is not who you are. That's just what the brain does. I've said this in several other videos. Pay attention. And you expand this ceiling by creating habits that match the level of the person that you're becoming. Let me give you an example. My habit was I felt good with audio. And I love doing audio. I had a radio show, I told you before, Millionaire Road, for 6 years, top 50 markets, Monday through Friday. And I felt comfortable with that. My habit to go to was the audio, and that's why I did a podcast, blah, blah, blah. But when I kept thinking about video, it wasn't in my habit profile. Did you get that? And so I really didn't consider it much. But what happened was that new version that I was looking at that I knew that I had to become in order to move things forward the way that Jody and I had planned, I had to form new habits on video. I'm preaching to the choir here, folks, because I am in a place where I'm developing new habits, not only on video, new creations, new creatives, and everything else, but I'm telling you, I'm walking through this now. And everything that I'm doing is validating and moving me towards, and every habit I'm creating is moving me towards that new version of being someone that absolutely on video helps millions of people. So you and I are a lot alike on this because I'm going through this myself right now. But let me tell you something. There's nothing more exciting than seeing that new version of you start being crafted, start being created by the Holy Spirit. It is amazing. Your habits mirror your self-image story. Now, this is something that my mentor wrote and I took out of one of my journals. Your habits mirror your self-image story, even if it's outdated. Did you get that? Your habits always are a reflection of how you see yourself, even if those habits are outdated. Mine were outdated. I had to upgrade my habits in order to get to where I want to go. You rewrite the story. You rewrite the script of the play by acting totally in connection with your new version of yourself. Everything you do, every habit, that new habit that you form, takes hold and moves you towards that new version of yourself. Here's an exercise real quick. Write new version of me, and who is it that you want to become? Let's take 3 things. 1, 2, 3. All right. What would any normal, average, everyday successful person do to make that happen? You got to figure out what habits that you need to develop. Well, first you got to figure out who you want to become. And then what habits do you have to change in order for that to happen? It's very simple. It's not hard. Your habits mirror your self-image story. So your current habits reinforce who you think you are or reinforce who you think you're becoming, the new version of you. Your brain always defaults to the familiar, to the safe, always, and it tries to talk you out of it. Your new self-image sets the ceilings for what you believe the habits you can maintain. Well, the habits you're maintaining are the ones that you're developing now for that new version of you. Your habits mirror your self-image story, which usually has never been challenged, but most of the time the story's from the past, not the future. Yours has to be rewritten from the future. And your future can't emerge from any routine from yesterday. Did you get that? Your future, no matter what it is, you have to take a look at what your normal routine in the morning is, and you have to change it to match the new self-image, because in the morning literally frames the whole day. It's kind of like a thermostat. It sets the temperature for the whole day, and that becomes your day, what you do in the morning. You evolve by replacing those auto habits with new deliberate ones. There were some things I was doing in the morning that, to be perfectly blunt, I shouldn't have been, but it is what it is. And looking at it from my standpoint, well, okay, that's fine. But when I replaced those habits with the habits that my billionaire mentors said this should happen, man, things changed in my business, things changed in my life, things changed in my relationship, even with God. This is the reason why your future self can't emerge with the same routine and habits. You got to move past it, guys. You evolve by replacing those habits with new habits that's going to give you your amazing new life, new version of you. Do your habits reinforce who you are currently and who you've always been, or are they challenging that and moving you towards the new version of you? May I make a suggestion? Listen to this And again, get yourself a fire journal, take notes, and then start looking at your self-image and what it's doing to your habits, because habits determine, if you want to know where your millionaire potential lies, they're in your habits. Because that's the one thing millionaires understand. Habits carry the millionaire potential, and that's why that you have to change your habits in order to take potential and turn it into progress. Guys, like, follow, share. Do yourself a favor. Get yourself a fire journal, take notes, send this to somebody. You know that they need to hear this. Subscribe to the channel. Spread the fire.